Today, I want to talk about something that I've been thinking about for the past couple weeks, but I haven't really fleshed out, so this is going to be kind of off the cuff. The prompt for today's video is going to be two things can be true. Now, let me explain what I mean by this. I often think we kind of have a stereotype in this world where if something's true, the other thing can't be true. And let me dive deeper into this. More specifically, I guess, like kind of something that would personally pertain to me would be like if you looked at my social medias, not including my YouTube, if you looked at my Instagram from years back, right? And you just saw all the gym stuff and, I mean, to be honest, kind of the meathead stuff, you wouldn't think that I would have intellectual interest of any sorts. And I feel like that is kind of a belief that's been popular for years now. And it's always just been kind of the stereotype of like the dumb jock, right? And I believe that is not necessarily always true. And this is what I kind of mean by two things can be true. I think you could be big, muscular, strong, love the gym, be animalistic in the gym, and just be an absolute meathead in the gym. But I also think that you could have high interest in intellectual endeavors outside of the gym. It's not just one or the other, right? And that's just one example. I think there's multiple examples throughout the world where two things can be true. And I'll go as far as even saying I think two things that can be true is I think there can be something that's very smart yet very, very dumb at the same exact time, right? They could be extremely book smart yet make very dumb personal choice decisions, and their decision making might be very flawed. But on paper, they're very smart. What I believe we need to do is we need to look at majority of things in this world from a nuanced and a broad perspective. We can't just look at everything for face value. And another example is kind of like in movies and in culture, and that you see the quote unquote not just muscular bigger, but say like the kind of just heavier set, bigger, rambunctious, loud, funny, kind of, physical character or person is oftentimes portrayed as dumb, and kind of just airheaded and have no true depth to their person. And I just personally do not think this is true. This might see. I really haven't fleshed this idea out a whole lot. It's kind of just while I'm lifting or working, I'm thinking about it. I haven't written anything down or anything. So this might kind of be all over the place, to be honest with you. And there might be some tweaks to it later on. And this might just be common sense. I don't know. I have no idea. This could be absolute just common sense where you people are going to watch it and go like, yeah, no shit, bro. Nobody was thinking opposite, right? But it's something that interests me and that I felt the need to get out here. As I get older and I'm actively trying to develop my character, not that this is something I've ever struggled with. I've always had kind of an open perspective on things, but not a open, nuanced perspective on things. The past couple years, I've become very passionate about having a very deep perspective and a very detached perspective on things. I always like to look at some things and go, how could this be different? How could this be more than the eye can see? And honestly, what I've found along the way is I've cared a lot less, right, about certain things. And to be honest, it's a lot more difficult and there's more friction, and the whole process is just much more intense when you're trying to view things from a open perspective than if you were just to have a closed perspective and just kind of not give anybody the benefit of the doubt and just immediately cast judgment, right? Because you could just immediately turn, cast judgment, move on with your life. So with that difficulty, it a lot of times just makes you have the realization where it's not even worth worrying about, so fuck it. You know? And it's given me a lot of freedoms mentally. It just allowed me to not worry about surrounding myself with anybody. And if you just cause like too much friction in my life, and I dive deep into trying to understand your perspective on things and trying to see what the nuances are. I've said nuances 15,000 times, but it's a good word. Understand what the nuances are in your life and that, and it's just like not adding up, and it's just not worth my time anymore. It's fine. Yeah, I don't have to surround myself with you. And it's given me a lot more inner peace. I will admit, a lot more inner peace. I don't know. That's my little rant, I guess, for today. If you see me in another video in this exact outfit, sitting exactly here, doing exactly everything the same, just know it's because I filmed the video right after this one. But, alright, I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.